The Canadian Special Operations Forces Command is organized into 5 command units and a headquarters. Joint Task Force 2 works under a group called the Canadian Special Operations Forces Command. GTF-2 was created in 1993 to replace a unit called the Special Emergency Response Team, SERT, which belonged to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP. GTF-2 started with just over 100 members, mostly from the Canadian Airborne Regiment and the Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry. They were given SERT's old base on Dwyerkill Road near Ottawa, which is still their headquarters today. Some of their missions are secret, but we know they've worked in places like Bosnia, Afghanistan, and Haiti. They'd also helped at events like the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. In one mission, a GTF-2 sniper set a record for the longest confirmed shot, hitting a target over 2 miles away. GTF-2 is made up of different groups called squadrons. The operational squadrons are the fighters who handle dangerous missions. The training and support squadrons focus on teaching GTF-2 members skills like sharpshooting, close combat, and advanced driving. The support and technical squadrons provide important help like planning, intelligence, and equipment maintenance. TF-2 also has 3 types of troops. Assaulter troops handle risky missions like rescuing hostages and stopping terrorists. Specialist troops are experts in areas like sniping, explosives, and gathering intelligence. Support troops make sure everything runs smoothly by planning and managing supplies. The Canadian Special Operations Regiment, CSOR, was created on February 1, 2006. Its history goes back to a World War II unit called the 1st Special Service Force, a combined American-Canadian team known as the Devil's Brigade for its daring nighttime raids against Nazi forces. Right after CSOR was formed, 175 people signed up for its first selection course. On August 13, 2006, a ceremony was held at Canadian Forces Base Petawawa in Ottawa to officially start the regiment. The first commander was Lieutenant Colonel Jamie Hammond. Since then, CSOR has been involved in missions in Afghanistan, Libya, and Mali. This unit is highly trained and specializes in tasks like reconnaissance, helping other elite units, rescuing people, direct action missions, and training special forces from other countries. The CSOR is a Tier 2 unit and works closely with GTF-2, a Tier 1 unit. CSOR's main job is to support GTF-2 and other Tier 1 units during missions. It can take on operations both in Canada and in other countries on behalf of the Canadian government. CSOR has 5 companies, 3 direct action companies for combat and tactical missions, 1 special forces company for specialized tasks, 1 support company to handle logistics and resources. 427 Special Operations Aviation Squadron is a tactical helicopter unit providing aviation support to the Canadian Special Operations Forces Command. Based at Garrison Petawawa, Ontario, the squadron operates a fleet of Bell CH-146 Griffon helicopters and has a long history dating back to World War II. The squadron began in England on November 7, 1942. As a bomber unit called the 427 Lion Squadron, it flew over 26,000 hours and completed more than 3,200 missions during the war. The squadron was disbanded in 1946, but in 1952, it was reformed as a fighter squadron in Quebec, equipped with Canadair Sabres. The following year, it moved to Germany as part of NATO operations. In 1971, the squadron was reactivated as a tactical helicopter squadron at CFB Petawawa. Over the years, it participated in missions worldwide, including 1981, Operation Calumet in Egypt, 1989, Operation Sultan in Central America, 1992, Operation Deliverance in Somalia, 1995 to 1996, Operation Pivot in Haiti. In 2006, it became the 427 Special Operations Aviation Squadron and joined Canadian Special Operations Forces Command. The Canadian Joint Incident Response Unit is a special forces unit which specializes in chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear operations. It was created after the 9/11 attacks to help keep people safe from these types of threats. At first, it was called the Joint Nuclear, Biological, and Chemical Defense Company and was based in Kingston, Ontario. In 2006, it joined a bigger group, the Canadian Special Operations Forces Command. The next year, it got a new name, the Canadian Joint Incident Response Unit, and moved its main base to Trenton, Ontario. This unit has 3 special teams: sampling and identification of biological, radiological, and chemical agents troop. They collect and study dangerous materials like chemicals or radiation to figure out what they are. Surveillance troop. They watch and gather information about risky areas without getting too close. Decontamination troop. They make sure everyone is safe and clean after handling dangerous situation. The Canadian Special Operations Training Center created in 2012. Its main job is to train and prepare Canadian Special Operations Forces command members for their missions. Even though it was planned as early as 2006, it couldn't start right away because of Canada's involvement in missions like Afghanistan. When it finally began, it focused on a few key training courses for new and support members. Over the years, CSOTC has taken on more responsibilities, such as helping with recruitment, setting training standards, and offering more advanced courses. CSOTC also includes the Special Operations Depot, which provides essential support to Canadian Special Operations Forces Command. The Canadian Special Operations Forces Command headquarters is the central hub for directing and managing Canada's special forces. It was created on February 1, 2006, to organize and lead all Canadian Special Operations Forces Command units, including elite forces like JTF-2. This headquarters grew out of a smaller group focused on counterterrorism, combining strategic planning and operational oversight into one powerful command center.